Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Ross Johnston. We've got a lot of NFL news today, starting with Eagles cornerback Jaire Alexander, who was recently traded to Philly from the Baltimore Ravens. Alexander is stepping away from football to get right physically and has been placed on the reserve/retired list by the Eagles. The New York Giants have named Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback for their game this weekend against the Packers. Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. underwent surgery for appendicitis today and will miss Sunday's game versus the 49ers and potentially more after. There was a big free agent signing yesterday as the Pittsburgh Steelers signed cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. to the practice squad. Samuel is coming off of spinal fusion surgery in the offseason and could be activated soon as Darius Slay suffered a concussion last week in the Steelers' loss to the Chargers. This all reported by Adam Schefter. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Of course, it's fans don't appreciate what they have season in the NFL, because I see Vikings fans wanting Kevin O'Connell fired. I see, Steelers fans kind of growing bored with always winning under Mike Tomlin. I see Ravens fans entertaining the idea of John Harbaugh being fired, but of course, Lamar Jackson's back, so now everything probably is trending in the right direction. And the latest victim of success and fans not appreciating that success is Matt LaFleur. And Matt LaFleur recently is being, ever since they lost this game over the weekend against the Eagles, 10-7, there's been a lot of talks that maybe Matt LaFleur's time in Green Bay has run its course, that maybe, him and Gutekunst will find themselves on the way out at the end of the season. And it goes as far as an article in The Athletic saying that Matt LaFleur is coaching for his job. And I just find it absolutely wild. And I don't know if maybe I'm just taking for granted that we've been so bad here lately that maybe they're not actually good head coaches. But when you watch the games and you watch what they've been able to do, and really Green Bay has suffered a lot of injuries at their wide receiver core every single year, it feels like. And he's still able to be a top 5, top 10 offense every year. Now, there's more to it than that, being a head coach and everything. It just feels like I don't understand why Green Bay Packers fans want to get rid of Matt LaFleur. But if they do, I would be, if the Tennessee Titans would be crazy not to probably throw the bag at Matt LaFleur. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, man. Well, I don't know the Green Bay situation real well, but from what I've watched, they've held opponents defensively. I think 3 games that they lost to 17 points or less or somewhere thereabout, but it's a low number, and the offense stunk it up.
Yeah.
And to me, Love didn't play very well, so you could say you blame it on the play caller, which is LaFleur, and he's also the head coach. So I think that's where it all starts. They would be probably a much higher ranked team, but the standard in Green Bay, I think, is much higher. Like you're talking about Pittsburgh and everything else, average isn't good enough. The standard is we're supposed to be a playoff contending, Super Bowl contending type team. Always a playoff contending team. So I think that's where it starts there. But, if he gets available, I would definitely have him high on the list there, being that he was here 1 year and you have some familiarity with him. Maybe not this staff, but the ownership does. And they actually came up with the idea of him and Vrabel working together.
Yeah.
So that is unique in itself. And then so that would put him in, to me, probably pole position from probably the ownership. And then, you have to sell it over to the GM because I think he may have someone else in mind. But Yeah, it's kind of crazy just to even kind of hear that thought process. But when you get upset, you give quarterback all that kind of money, then he's not performing, not taking the gimmies is what I watch when I watched him. Like he's trying to hit the home run, somewhat kind of like Cam Ward.
I was about to say that sounds a little familiar.
Yeah. So it was, and let your playmakers make plays and do a dump off. Just watching the Green Bay Philly game. Hurts. Everybody talks about him, and I love him. As a player,
yeah.
He takes the dump off. Guess what? He took a 5-yard pass. Saquon took a 60. See, Love is trying to throw it down the field and make something when guys are covered out of nothing, and then it forces a turnover. Or he's holding on to the ball too long, then he fumbles it. So I just think you go through these lulls as players, especially at the quarterback, all eyeballs on you, and you just try to continue to coach them through sometimes, bad times, I guess, when you're not on par. You got to, have some, plays that you go to that will work and make them comfortable. So, I can't believe that that is true. But if it is, he would be at the top of the list. And if, any of those other guys as well, Harbaugh, that Tomlin, oh gosh, Lee, man, what would be your pick? Tomlin, if Tomlin, Harbaugh, and LaFleur were available, who would be your number one?
Oh man,
that's a tough call.
I think
I'll
say this. I think I would go with Tomlin, and here's why. I know what I'm getting leadership wise, standard wise, and I'm not saying these other guys don't have that, but I also think I could get Art Smith as my OC, and I get the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I get the best of both worlds there. Yeah. I get the offensive coordinator that has familiarity with Tennessee, that we know the ownership likes. You get a guy in Mike Tomlin who just doesn't have a losing record. That's really, really hard to come by in the NFL. John Harbaugh
take
fluctuates.
That right now, 9-8. Yeah. We'd take that all day.
I'd take 9-8 all day long. So to me, I think I would look at it from that perspective is that maybe with John Harbaugh, you can get, Todd Monken, right? I like Todd Monken too. But I'm thinking Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Now, maybe he's currently number one in the AFC North right now.
Yeah.
And I look at John Harbaugh, who has had losing seasons, though infrequent. I look over at Matt LaFleur, who definitely has a high win percentage as well, right? I mean, I think I would go with Mike Tomlin because he's done it for longer and you know what you're getting. I think the length and the amount of success with Mike Tomlin, I think that would go a long ways to help turn around the Tennessee Titans. But man, that's a hard decision. That's not an easy decision.
I don't know which way would you go there, Ross?
I think Tomlin's the one that could pull the team out of this rut the quickest. I think he could do that quicker than Harbaugh and LaFleur. I think LaFleur and Harbaugh probably have a higher ceiling at this stage of their coaching careers than Tomlin does. I don't know if Mike Tomlin can get a team back to the Super Bowl.
This is a really great poll question, by the way, and I would add Sean McDermott on it. Which current head coach, if fired, would you rather have? I think that's a great question because I mean, even if you had Sean McDermott, I'm still kind of wondering. Okay, Mike Tomlin, yes, but Sean McDermott, maybe. I'd be on board with that. I mean, you really can't go wrong.
Under Andy Reid's staff on there when I was there,
right? But I think I would go Tomlin. Give him the slight edge.
Yeah, it's something you said there, and you said he always had winning seasons. And you use that as a plus. I would use that as a minus. I would take Harbaugh over him because I want to see the lulls and see how he coached and responded to those lulls and having maybe not a winning record. I'm sure they were somewhere thereabout, but and how he dug out of that. That would be an actual question I would ask him.
Yeah,
because that's where we are.
That's true.
So does that bring more value for what situation we in instead of just looking at the resume saying, hey, he has all winning seasons. Now he took over, who was the Cowher was right.
Yeah. Who also they haven't had a losing season since 2002.
So he inherited a good team immediately, and then there 3 years down the road, it kind of hit some stumbling blocks a little bit there. but he still had a winning season.
And to be fair, Harbaugh took over a 5-11 team with the Baltimore Ravens and has kind of gone through highs and lows, like you said, injuries to quarterbacks and having to plug and play different quarterbacks, and
Different
injuries
styles,
really all
too.
over. Different styles, different. He's not beholden. He's kind of like Nick Saban, right? He's not beholden to one particular style and one particular kind of offensive coordinator. You make a good point there.
I'm not saying he would be my number one
Right.
guy, but these are the type of questions I wonder if the Titans are going to be asking instead of just looking at the resume and saying he had a winning record. That means he's good, and we know he's a good leader.
Yeah.
A lot of people have talked about that, as well as Harbaugh and the other guys bring to the table as well. Maybe not as much. You've heard about McDermott, but he's kind of falling off when they get in the playoffs. But we dream to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
I just dream to be in the conversation, right? Like that to me is what sustained success is about. Yeah, to sustain other stuff. Sustained success is about, it's about, to me, always being in the conversation, always being at the dance. I mean, you may not win
at the
homecoming
dance,
king and homecoming queen, but at least you're at the dance.
Yeah, what you going to do after the dance? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I just feel like,
But then the question I would ask Tomlin is, how did you maintain your success
Yeah.
and always having a winning
That would be-
season?
yeah.
So you want
with a lot of different quarterbacks.
Yeah, and that's another thing when you said Tomlin and Arthur Smith. Now, I'm interested to see how Aaron Rodgers does because I don't know if Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers fit.
Yeah.
Now, they could say they're trying to work on that, but eventually Aaron Rodgers is going to turn back to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's not going to be happy they're losing, and he feels like he's not owning the offense. It's someone else's offense because the RPO is not going to work with him. He's not running anywhere.
Right.
Right. See, so sometimes matching up the talent with the actual player helps the player look better. So where Cam Ward, I don't know. I think he could run it. They just should run it a little bit more. I don't think he will be super effective, but I think he could gain 5 yards.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I don't think it's like, oh, we can't run it. So those are the things you're trying to, talk to the coaching staffs, and when they talk about their staff that they're going to bring in, how do the pieces to the puzzle of the style that you want to run on offense and defense will help you get there quicker, and if the players you have match what they're trying to do. That's how you immediately get back into the table with some great signings and drafts very quickly. It has to match up.
I would imagine that LaFleur will win that poll just because of the history in Tennessee, but I think LaFleur also would be my choice, quite honestly, because you get the head coach /
Offensive
quarterback
coordinator.
developer, kind of an offensive coordinator in the same person, right? If you're getting Tomlin, you're just getting a guy that
CEO.
Yeah, CEO, which is great, but you still need to nail the coordinator hires. You don't exactly have to nail the coordinator hire if you get a Matt LaFleur, for offense at least.
Right.
And maybe there is something a little bit to burnout. I mean, Harbaugh and Tomlin have both been doing this for a very, very long time. And not necessarily
I
saying
like
that,
that.
but like Matt LaFleur, to your point, to give a pro to Matt LaFleur is that he's only been doing it since 2019. He's in his 7th football season compared to the Baltimore Ravens with Harbaugh. He's been doing it since 2008. I think Tomlin is pretty close to around that number too. So maybe, and listen, new scenario, new city, and all that kind of stuff. But maybe there is something to.
Well, the
Maybe they
message
take a year off.
Message gets stale a little bit
Yeah.
too. So I mean, they do have burnout. I get that for sure. So
Yeah.
it'd be an interesting question. I'd love to be part of that equation, asking those kind of questions because you never know what they're asking in these
Right.
interview questions when you start breaking guys down. And it's also fit. To me, fit is almost as important as everything else. Do you feel comfortable communicating with this guy, even through bad and good times? Do you feel like you're gonna get an honest assessment of what's going on with the team?
And to be fair, I feel like all 4 of these guys should have enough, I guess, experience to work with either Mike Bergonzi. To your point, but you never know. You
don't know.
You don't know how personalities really mesh until you're actually in a room. And really, you probably don't even know when you're in the room as much as you would out in a real life environment or experience or something. Maybe they should do draft day simulations or something to really get the free agent simulations, to really get them arguing, talking, communicating. Because a little bit of conflict is always healthy. but you never know how do those conflicts, how those personalities actually handle each other in that said conflict, right?
Yeah.
Your conflict's always going to happen. So
Yeah. You're going to have difference of opinions all over the place.
let's go to Nate in Omaha. Nate, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going good.
Yeah, man. I heard y'all talking about the quarterback for Green Bay, man. I tell you, he throw the prettiest ball I've seen since Warren Moon. Like, when I watch the Green Bay Packers, I just think they need a number one receiver, man. Because he puts it on them. The guys just don't make plays, you know? Yeah, I think he's terrific. But y'all was talking about LaFleur. And if I can recollect, ain't this the same offensive coordinator that didn't give Derrick Henry the ball? I mean, I'm just trying to, maybe y'all can refresh my memory.
Well, that was the big thing. That was I've heard a few people bring this up.
The Deion Lewis split.
Because this was the year 2018 was the year that Deion Lewis was getting the ball at a high rate until the big breakout game against Jacksonville. Or really before that, I think the Chargers game was kind of like that pivotal moment in London.
What year was this?
2018
for Henry though.
This would have been his third season, and I believe, to me, if I had to put the blame on anybody, it'd be Mike Vrabel and Deion Lewis and John Robinson, their connection to Deion Lewis through the New England Patriots, more so than Matt LaFleur. I mean, you can only call the plays with the players that you're allowed to play. Now, maybe I'm just mistaken on that, and maybe I'm just overthinking it. But if Mike Vrabel wants Deion Lewis to get the plays and the snaps and everything, it's on the job on the offensive coordinator to make that happen. Even if he disagrees with it, which we don't know if he does or doesn't disagree. Maybe he did agree with it. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember that just the whole history there, 2 years with Murray and Henry still wasn't really impactful on the team like he should have been. And so they went and signed Lewis, who they had to justify signing him. And to your point with all the connection, they were going to play Lewis and made him a one until Henry got up to speed. And then got to give Henry credit. He did improve each and every year in every facet of his game. And so they didn't know that he had done that. You know, he had gotten to the point in game where until he had a big game. So there was a big conflict, even when Lewis was playing, because the running game wasn't effective, really, to be all honest at that time. So then Henry had to break our game. So I do agree with you, though, on your assessment of that. I think that's what they wanted to do, and they were just slow playing Henry. And at that time, if people want to recall, which sounds crazy now, Henry wasn't where he is today, but they were trying to trade Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
At that point in time, he wasn't what they thought he was going to be.
Well, you can look at.
Sound crazy? Like they were trying to get rid of him.
Well, you can look at how, first off, John Robinson didn't even want to draft Derrick Henry. Blake Bedenfield stood on the table, pounded the table, and annoyed the crap out of John Robinson in the second round until they drafted him. Yeah. So John Robinson wasn't even that big of a fan of Derrick Henry. So there's another layer to this. Now let's go up to New England. If Ramondre Stevenson hadn't gotten injured, we probably would still be seeing very few of TreVeyon Henderson. Because that is just what Vrabel does. And I know that TreVeyon Henderson's a rookie and Derrick Henry was a third-year player. But again, it's something about those older vet guys like Deion Lewis and Ramondre Stevenson that Mike Vrabel wants to give the longest leash to in certain situations. We've seen it.
I don't have a problem with how they managed Derrick, though. I mean, think about it, like they ramped him up each year, and I get y'all saying all the stuff that was going on in the background. I get that. But in terms of his, production and like play, I don't have any problem with it. Like we got guys like Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs not taking the full load, but that's going to prolong their careers as opposed to.
Yeah, but the scenario was flipped. It's like you're the starter and you're the rotating guy.
Yeah.
Or you the backup rotating with the starter. Henry should have been the starter and Lewis should have been the change of pace.
Yeah, that's fair.
But so that's why I thought it was an issue, being that you were a second round pick in your third year.
Yeah.
Like, just think how long does it take for a running back to have an impact?
And to be honest,
that first year he should have. We had Murray, and he was doing well until he hurt his knee.
I think Henry had, 750 yards that year or the second year, his second year.
So you thought he was going to be the guy.
I was just saying more like, I'm glad they didn't just give him the full
Right.
load of carries right away. They kind of built him up to that.
Oh, I
But
didn't mind
get what
that.
you're saying.
But Lewis was the guy, and Henry was the rotating piece.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you go back to that 2018 season, because this is why I was pounding the table, like, why are they need to quit playing Deion Lewis and play Derrick Henry more? Because Derrick Henry had higher yards per carry, higher yards per touch, and better efficiency stats than Deion Lewis, but they were still playing Deion Lewis.
Well, I think they tried to figure out also style and fit of what type of runs he was really good at.
Yeah.
And that then determined when we're
Right.
talking about systems, then once they realized what they could do with him and he was really good at it, then they just ran the heck out of it. People
Yeah.
couldn't stop it.
Yep, kind
And
of like
so-
Josh Jacobs up in Green Bay when you got Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we'll continue talking about this. We want to hear from you, 615-737-1045. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Sean McDermott, and Matt LaFleur. If all four were fired, who would be your top choice? We want to hear from you.
Arthur Smith.
And this is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here on 104.5 The Zone.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, and Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
One of the largest sports books east of the Mississippi, Circa Sports Kentucky, is now open. Catch all your favorite games on an 80-foot screen with stadium-style seating and live VSiN broadcast daily. Circa Sports, now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
My dad and I used to golf together all the time, but when he hurt his back, it was over.
To have your son want to spend time with you is amazing. That's why my chronic back pain has been so heartbreaking. Surgery, fused bones, long recovery. No way, not for me. A friend recommended stem cells, so I gave Kellum Stem Cell Institute a call.
I'm glad you're out on the course.
Yeah, it's really good.
Call the Kellum Stem Cell Institute today. Swing still looks just okay, though.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We're broadcasting live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. The Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. And Blaine had brought up a good question, and we added Sean McDermott to it. But if all four of these coaches in this very unlikely hypothetical scenario were to get fired, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Sean McDermott, and Matt LaFleur, who would be your top choice? 615-737-1045. But here's what I said during the break before I went to go get my water. I said, you know what would happen, though? All four of these job openings would come open, and then all four of these head coaches would take one of the other job openings that just came open.
Or
it would not be the Titans. Like Matt LaFleur would go to the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. John Harbaugh would go to the Green Bay Packers. You got Mike Tomlin would go to the Bills with Josh Allen, and Sean McDermott would come over to the Steelers. That feels exactly like what would happen in this scenario. They would all just swap. It's like wife swap.
And then we'll be left with Arthur Smith and be like, oh, my.
There you go.
7-10.
Now I'm thinking Sean McDermott's our guy. Imagine those team meeting rooms, the pregame speeches, what we'd hear about that. You know, he's got a history with those. How we motivate this team.
Yeah, I like it.
It's special.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to X. X, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
What's going on,
How y'all
X?
doing today, fellas?
Doing good.
I would take Matt LaFleur only because he's like Mike Tomlin a little bit. I see him coaching maybe 6-7 years, and honestly, I don't want a 7-7, 8-8 season, whatever it is. But we got a young quarterback. You got a young team in general. You want to bring in somebody that can fit that culture. And I mean, what he's done at Green Bay really ain't bad. But I think he need to come on back home. Y'all have a good day.
There you go.
Well, come on home, a family reunion.
There you go. And we'll say this: Brian Daboll just got fired. You hire Sean McDermott. You bring in Brian Daboll to go with Cam Ward. That's not a bad little enticing situation.
Sean McDermott ain't getting fired.
I'm just saying, if he did, none of these coaches are getting fired. Let's be honest. Matt, let me just say something. The Packers are not firing Matt LaFleur because they know who are you going to find better than Matt LaFleur? Isn't that, the ultimate question you have to ask when you're firing? If you're the Steelers, who are you finding better than Mike Tomlin? Is Mike McCarthy better than Mike Tomlin? I don't think so. That's really the only available coach with the head coaching experience, unless you're going to go completely new again.
Now, I agree with you, but who is the GM connected to?
Omar Khan. Ooh.
No, I meant, for the Packers.
Oh, for the Packers, Brian. Yeah. Well, he's here's the thing.
Trash.
He could be fired too.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. So that's what it tells me. Yeah. They both may be gone if we're talking about a situation with the Packers, because it doesn't make any sense. LaFleur, we all know, can coach. So why are some of these good coaches proven getting fired? You know, like Daboll. I think Daboll's a good coach. Maybe more so on the play calling, but, maybe he's not a good head coach. But, he had 4 years, so they were patient, and he had a 20-40-1 record.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict. Sometimes it's about the talent. If you don't get to pitch your own groceries, like Vrabel.
That's true.
And if I have no say-so on my groceries, then what am I doing?
Yeah.
I got to have some say-so as a coach, and we got to be able to work and coexist together.
Yeah, and so I guess if Goots gets fired, maybe Matt LaFleur does, but I wouldn't fire either of them. I feel like you'd be crazy.
I just think the expectations in Green Bay are high.
Yeah.
They demand it.
That's kind of crazy
when
high,
you start seeing Detroit is elevated over you, they are pissed.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
They play them guys twice a year. They like, no. Lambeau.
I wonder, but then you got to find someone that also likes Jordan Love because you just gave him all that money, which, again, okay, that's maybe one bad thing that Goots has done. But I still think Jordan Love is a high-level quarterback.
No, I do too. I think this is purely just fan-driven right now, but if the offense...
I don't know. It's written by The Athletic. That guy says he's...
True.
I was
going to say, but if the offense does keep flaming out for Green Bay, then it could get dicey, you know?
Oof, man, that would be wild. Because I just don't know what the future would look like with the Packers, right? do you hire Clint Kubiak from Seattle and try to
see what happens with the
re-experience?
GM first and kind of throw out,
That's tough. Who would be the GM? Then who would they bring? That would be tough. That'd be kind of crazy. Let's go to Bear in Springfield. Bear, you're on with Cover 2.
What up, Heat Man? What up, Professor?
What's up?
What's happening, Bear?
All right, man. If I could get my boy Arthur Smith, because I'm pounding the table for Arthur Smith, and I want one check too. But if I couldn't get him, I think I'd go with Tomlin. The reason why I go with Tomlin, though, is because, he inherited a good team, but he maintained it. They drafted well. Mm-hmm. And Roethlisberger was like the Walking Dead his last 3 years. He ain't really had a quarterback since then, and he's still maintaining it above 500 level. You bring him here, we already got the QB, hopefully, and he can just fill in everything else. I think it'll be just like Buff. Thank you, guys.
There you go.
I'm telling you, I think out of all the coaches, he could pull us out of this quicker than any of the other ones.
For the short term, but you said
But could you reach
term.
the heights you want to go to?
Yeah.
That would be the question. But I think we all would take getting us out of the cellar right here, man.
Listen, that's why it's such a hard decision. Yeah, because, you can look at them all, and they all have gone through different things. Mike Tomlin, tons of different quarterbacks, right? And you're like, well, if Cam Ward's probably better than a handful of those quarterbacks that he's played with outside of Ben's or coached with outside of that. And you're kind of thinking, okay, there's a plus right there. Then you bring in Art Smith. There's a plus right there. But then you go to Sean McDermott, who had to deal with Josh Allen and get Josh Allen to a level while building a team around him. And you have right there Brian Daboll, who could come with him. Matt LaFleur. Jordan Love speaks for itself, right? And I think you may have said it, Blaine, over the offseason that maybe it was you, maybe it was Stoney, is one of the shows I did, but Jordan Love, Cam Ward kind of remind you of each other.
I didn't say that.
So that must have been Stoney. But and then with John Harbaugh, we've seen that he's been able to do it with all kinds of different quarterbacks, all kinds of different offensive systems. So they all are so much better than what you have had. And they would probably almost instantly be the best head coach you'd ever have. Now, they got to prove it, obviously, but they've all gone through.
Over Vrabel?
Oh, yeah. They're all better head coaches than Vrabel right now, so.
Well, the record is showing some things now. Granted, he had a second-year quarterback. Yeah. He got McDaniels, got him on the right track, got some great draft and free agency, and it's kind of working really fast. See, that's what I'm talking about. It can work.
Fast.
Right.
Because your quarterback hits.
Yeah.
If Drake May wasn't playing at an MVP level, and the people that think that Mike Vrabel's the reason he's getting an MVP level is, I think, giving a little too much credit to the head coach and not enough credit to the quarterback, and then not enough credit to Josh McDaniels.
Yeah. Okay, but who's got a better team, the Patriots or the Packers? Top to bottom.
I would say the Packers have obviously the better talent.
Okay.
But they also play a tougher schedule.
I would say defensively, probably more talent. Offensively, with all the wide receivers hurt, and they had a clutch receiver in Diggs. And then Drake May is playing better. I don't know. Offensively, I think it's a little different ball game.
And we got to remember, Vrabel has the third weakest schedule. Not to take anything away, you can only play who's in front of you, right? He's not playing close games. He's dominating them. But the Packers just are playing a much tougher schedule. And
NFC AFC.
Yeah, and let's see what he does the rest of the way, right? We got to see what he does in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. And so, these guys have proven to be better coaches resume-wise over the course. Mike Vrabel still has a ways to go to catch up to those guys.
I just think Love is not playing up to snuff.
Yeah.
I really believe that after watching him, I'm like, man, he was fumbling, holding on to the ball too long, trying to make the big play down the field when it was guys open underneath that he could have just dumped it off to. And then he waited too long. Then he fumbled. I'm like, that was like Cam Ward-ish watching him.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I couldn't believe it. So I think sometimes guys feel pressure after they get the big contract, 2 or 3 down, to make sure that they can look like they deserve it and they can put everything on their back as the quarterback to make success instead of just let the offense run its course and give it to your playmakers, whether it's a sharp pass or not, and it's 3rd and 15, and let's see what he can do. I think that's what happens when you have the big contract, when you're the quarterback sometimes, and you want to be the guy that said, I was part of that. Instead of just take the gimme. Like, it was there all over the place. I felt like he was the reason why they lost the game and not necessarily LaFleur.
Yeah.
But they're
I'm
always
with
going to
you.
be attached because, they gave him the big money and LaFleur was there when he was there. So, hey, that's tough, man.
Well, can I say something just real quick? Because this just got brought up in the chat about, Mike Vrabel and everything, and that I'm speaking blasphemous about Mike Vrabel.
But because you said that Tomlin would be the best coach, or who'd you say?
Oh, all four of those guys. I think.
Be
but here's the thing, because someone says,
that's
well,
why I said
Mike
that.
Vrabel won Coach of the Year, and he's going to win it again this year. And I go, well, Brian Daboll won Coach of the Year. Kevin Stefanski's won it twice.
Yeah.
And I think, just Coach of the Year is a fine accomplishment in and of itself, but is not a sign of long-term success.
Right. Did Matt Nagy win Coach of the Year?
He did win Coach of the Year. Jason Garrett won Coach of the Year.
Jason Garrett won it. Yeah.
Ron Rivera won it twice. And what do we think of Ron Rivera?
The Clapper won Coach of the Year.
Yep.
Jason Garrett.
Yep, Jason Garrett won it. Coach of the Year is not as it's not a resume. It's not the only thing that makes Mike Vrabel
coach is really
right.
a coach. Yeah.
Like we gotta settle down on calling Mike. Mike Vrabel did win Coach of the Year, and listen, very deserving.
Yeah, no doubt.
Don't get me wrong, but also we can take that away because we've seen so many other coaches win it that didn't have sustained long-term success. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that we just, chill out on Coach of the Year. Let's go to Buffalo in Lebanon. Buffalo, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, I'm such a big Packers fan. I had 17 family members at Lambeau November 17th, Thursday night, to watch the Titans beat up on Green Bay. We were all there. 75% of the comments in the chat rooms about Green Bay are, let's get rid of LaFleur. Jordan Love sucks. Well, here's what I have observed is that half the people that touch the ball are injured. I mean, going all the way back to Reed. I mean, you can't just, grind up everybody who's going to catch the ball, put them on reserve, and expect to win a bunch of games. That's all I got, fellas.
Well, so they do have injury issues at the receiver position.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Watson wasn't available half the year. Jaden Reed, who I really like, can't stay healthy. And Tucker Kraft,
Dobbs or somebody? Did they trade one of them?
No, they kept them all. Okay. They put Bo Melton, who was a wide receiver out of Rutgers, over to defensive back this year.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, but they may have to call him back over to wide receiver here soon. But you also have Tucker Kraft, right? Who was probably their biggest X factor on offense because he could block, he could catch. You never signaled whatever you were going to try to run, and now he's off. So, you got a lot of injuries, and it seems like that every year, right? Like, every year it seems like that for these Packers.
ACL, right? That was the fast guy. I really liked him coming out of the draft.
Yeah.
It's like there's two sides to everything, though, because you can argue, like, what y'all are saying right now, which I agree with, is, like, they're dealing with injuries. Love's not playing up to par, probably. You're not taking the gimmies, and they're losing, so LaFleur is getting blamed for that. Is that directly on LaFleur? Not really.
No.
But also, on the other side, you got a dude who came in and inherited a first ballot Hall of Famer who won MVPs in 2020 and 2021. So there's two sides to it, I guess. But is he still a great coach? I think so. I think we'd all say he's a great coach. It's just you can't overvalue everything, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
Let's go to Bill in Lebanon. Bill, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hello. How are y'all?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, buddy. I mean, did y'all watch the game the other night, the Green Bay Eagles game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tough game.
I mean,
boring.
The Packers that was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life.
I know it was boring bad.
Them and the Eagles, it was just a bad. Right. I mean, that was a good defensive game that we're not used to in the NFL
now in today's world.
But the Eagles' defense ain't that good, and Jordan Love just didn't look right. And if LaFleur is supposed to be such a great coach, I mean, you got to score more than 7 points. I mean, I'd take Tomlin all day long over any of these guys. I mean, Tomlin is stability. He is probably a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, he's definitely the guy to be the captain of the ship. I mean,
how many Super Bowls has he won? One or two?
Question. Sorry?
How many Super Bowls has he won? One or two? I can't remember.
Tomlin?
He's won two.
Two.
He won one with Big Ben his rookie year, and then I think he won another one. I think he won 2.
It was his second year with Big Ben against the Seahawks, and then a couple years later against the Cardinals, I think.
Yeah, it was the Cardinals game.
Oh, yeah.
The toe tap from Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the unbelievable catch. But yeah,
Gotcha.
but I mean, I hate the Steelers, and I still take Tomlin all day long over Vrabel, over anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you look what Vrabel did with the Titans. You know, Tannehill, they got Tannehill, and he made Vrabel. I mean, he got really lucky. They got really lucky with Tannehill.
Yeah.
And that's why he was coach of the year, because he had such a great year. And then, you know, there's no way I would, you know, bring back any of these other guys. It's Tomlin all the way.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Hey,
great argument there.
it is a very good argument for Mike Tomlin. All right. 615-737-1045 if you guys want to weigh in. If all 4 of these coaches were fired, which is very improbable, we recognize that. We're just having a little fun. There was no game that was played this week for the Tennessee Titans. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Sean McDermott, and Matt LaFleur. If all 4 of those guys were hired, who would you want and why? This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is number. QB1, Cam Ward of the Tennessee Titans, will be at the podium, hopefully around 2:20, so we'll carry that live for you guys. We haven't heard from the QB1 in a while, and there's been a lot of questions about the offense, what they can do, what he's probably worked on, so I think we'll hear a lot of substance from the quarterback.
Also, if he took a break on bye
He
week.
maybe didn't take a break. That could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. We don't know. He knows himself better than everybody else does. We've been asking the question, and we got the poll up over at Blaine and Zach on Twitter. If all four of these coaches were fired, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Sean McDermott, and Matt LaFleur, which one would you want the most? You can go vote over there. You can also call in 615-737-1045. Let's go to Mark and Franklin. Mark, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Going good?
Good.
Really enjoy the program.
Thank you.
Hey, just want to clarify one thing. You're talking with a diehard Steelers fan. I'm from Pittsburgh.
I know exactly where you're probably going with this.
Tomlin he's only won one Super Bowl.
Yep.
Just want to clarify that.
For sure.
We looked it up over the break. Well, Zach did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, he's 1-1.
Yeah.
Now, Bill Cowher was the coach when they beat the Seahawks. That was during Big Ben's second year.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, though. Are you wanting Tomlin out as a diehard Steelers fan?
Me personally, I do not. I think he's awesome, but I can tell you the temperature in Pittsburgh is they don't like him. He has a different reputation nationally than what his reputation is in Pittsburgh. For the most part, they want him out in Pittsburgh. I don't see how. I think he's awesome. I want to keep him as my coach. But most people in Pittsburgh want him out, I can tell you that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If he were to be fired, do you think he'd be interested in this Tennessee Titans job?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, there's only 32 positions, right?
Yeah.
Who would Pittsburgh
I
hire?
think what the Titans messed up was when they didn't take that Giants trade offer.
Gotcha.
They really messed up, didn't they? They could have had a lot more picks.
I would concur.
They were thinking they were like a playoff team this year or something. They got to build for the future, though.
They lied to
that
themselves.
was a big mistake, I think.
Yeah. Who would you want in Pittsburgh if they did let go of Tomlin?
Who
Who's
I
a
want in
good fit?
Pittsburgh? I'd tell you this, not Arthur Smith.
They don't like the offense there either.
I would love to see Mike Vrabel come to Pittsburgh.
I don't think that one's coming.
You know what? He was originally drafted by the Steelers.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, originally, yes.
I would love. I think I have a high regard for Mike Vrabel as a head coach.
Okay.
He seems to have mellowed a little bit now. Have you noticed that with the Patriots?
Isn't that interesting?
That? Yeah. Have you guys noticed that?
I have. I've been paying attention.
Yeah, he seems to be, cuddling the players more, things like that. So I think he's learned from his stint with the Titans.
Yeah, and
I think so.
Actual team, he went to Super Bowl and is in the Ring of Honor. So I think there's a little bit different kind of pizzazz to him when he approaches. I've seen him do radio shows, a podcast, live sitting there. I've listened to him. He sounds like a happy-go-lucky partner, even with the tough questions. I haven't heard him be a stiffy and just giving hardcore answers like he did with the Titans. Haven't heard it not one time.
Have you guys seen the one game Travian Henderson fumbled, and he went over to him, was talking to him. He was kind of role-played nice to him. That's not the old Vrabel.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
Listen, really appreciate the show and appreciate talking with you guys.
Hey, thank you. All right. So while we're talking about all this coaching stuff, I want to
something happened?
Well, I just want to get into the because I got something else I want to plan for this next segment. So I want to get to this Giants situation because Connor Orr, Sports Illustrated, Ian Rappaport has also echoed this, and so has Peter Schrager. But Ian Rappaport recently was just on the net talking about the firing, was on NFL Network. And as the candidates flow in, he thinks the Giants want to recapture some of that winning they had with Tom Coughlin. So I'm looking at names like Steve Spagnuolo, Antonio Pierce, as guys who have connections to the organization, Lou Anarumo as well. We kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday, but just real quick.
Yeah, you did.
this would be very good for the Tennessee Titans if they went this direction, because that means that they are effectively kind of doing a similar situation of the Tennessee Titans, but I would expect the Tennessee Titans don't have a whole lot of high interest in the names I just read outside of maybe Spags. I wouldn't say that Lou Anarumo and Antonio Pierce really fits what they're kind of looking for from a larger perspective. So I think that I just want to say this would be very good news for the Tennessee Titans. Because I do think, because it's New York most of all, it has the bigger draw to it.
Guess what? It'll be good news only if the Titans coach comes in and wins.
That's true.
At the end of the day,
I guess that's true.
At the end of the day, it's about winning, man. So, and then if they go over there and they win with, the names you just listed, which I don't think they have winning records as head coaches, man, that would be heart-wrenching. But I get, New York's a bigger market, probably a little more appealing job just because of that factor. And it's an NFC where a lot more, competitive, teams in that division as well. So tougher job. So, they can take whoever they want. I just want our coach, whoever we hire, we win.
Yeah. It's the most important hire that they've made in quite some time, it feels like.
Then you lead to another question.
Ooh.
Is this the biggest hire in Titans history?
Well, let's talk about that coming up next, as well as talking about talking about Jeremy Fowler's top 25 NFL free agents. And I know this is a little early, but I want to get out ahead on one particular name on this list I think the Titans should stay away from. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Matt Nagy.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. And Blaine, you asked a very important question. Is this the most important and biggest hire the Tennessee Titans have ever had to make? And I would say absolutely, because this hire could affect so many jobs, so many players, so much of your future.
Yeah, the organization.
It could affect the stadium. Like, I mean, not like they're gonna lose the stadium, but like, you know, having fans in the stadium.
Are you trying to say this is not built correctly or something?
But like this guy that you hire, it's the most pivotal moment in Tennessee Titans history, to be honest with you. Now, there's been other pivotal moments, right? Like the Music City Miracle and, you know, Derrick Henry and Eddie George having their conversation, trading for Ryan Tannehill and making that, like all that. But when you talk about specific coaching hires and GM hires, this is the most important one, which kind of makes the Mike Bergonzi hire even probably the second most important one. But that's why I kind of still go back to fall back on that if I'm Mike Bergonzi, I understand the gravity of the situation I am in. I'm going to battle with someone that I know and trust. And that feels like Matt Nagy to me.
Well, I think, he said he was probably going to lean into probably someone he's had as a relationship, a business relationship with. But if you don't, you probably have to go the safe route and go for the, you know, sure thing. And maybe that's middle of the road, but you know you can get you there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And not maybe the guy who you think, 4 years down the road, which means probably a new hire that you don't have a history of understanding what they are. Probably takes those candidates out of it. And it'd be interesting to see when they start doing this hiring process and interviewing process, who they bring in for just those interviews, because it'll tell us a little bit about, you know, who's interested and also who they're interested in. And I think...
And who they've eliminated from now to then.
Right. And some coaches who may not want to interview. I mean, like, we can sit here and talk about Saleh, who doesn't have a history of winning as his only one time as a head coach, but he also was with the Jets and didn't have a lot of say-so and didn't have a lot of time, and then, had a, older Aaron Rodgers, right? Right. So... do you give a guy like that a second shot, or do you go with a proven coach like McCarthy or someone you have a relationship like Nagy that you know and familiar with, a great working relationship with? See, so I think then if this decision pans out and isn't right, this could take him down a path of what Eddie George was saying. I think, I don't know if he was referencing, this hire, but I think if the hire's right, I think it could get back on the tracks pretty quickly.
Because, again, it's all about also Cam Ward. If Cam Ward doesn't pan out, that's going to make the head coach look bad, too, no matter who you hire, right? You get what I'm saying? Not only is this important, it's an important hire because you have to get the most, whoever you hire has to get the most and best version of Cam Ward. Because even if Cam Ward is maybe a bust outside of what
don't
really...
Don't put that into existence.
Just saying,
don't put that in existence.
But what I'm saying is, let's say they hire Clint Kubiak, who's now the new hot young name because he's the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, and because they have Sam Darnold, Jack Smith, and Jigba go down the list, and they have all these playmakers, the offense is scoring a lot of points. He didn't score a lot of points and look really well with the New Orleans Saints last year, and who are the Tennessee Titans closer to? The New Orleans Saints or the Seattle Seahawks? So I'm very skeptical of Clint Kubiak, as you could tell. But let's say they hire Clint Kubiak and Cam Ward does not pan out. Well, everybody's going to blame Clint Kubiak, Mike Bergonzi, and then they're all gone.
Yeah.
So
then that could take you into a 10-year win.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think that's why they're specifically telling us what they're looking for. And you guys can ignore it if you want. But they've told Mike Bergonzi from his mouth said it's important to have a strong working relationship. And they said that they are looking for a guy who's done it before and or a guy who's called plays for 5 years or more. So they're looking for real experience. Clint Kubiak does not fall into either of those. Jesse Minter does not fall into those. Chris Shula, the list goes on. They're looking for a steadying force that has proven to do stuff at a high level. Matt Nagy falls into that. That's why and again, I'm not saying Matt Nagy's my number one choice. He's not. But he's likely their number one choice. And I think that's why they're leaning into kind of you can call it safe, for lack of a better term, a safe option in their minds, like Matt Nagy, because it's safe and comfortable, in hopes to steady the ship because it is such a big moment and they need to have success with Cam Ward.
What about Mike McCarthy? There's no relationship there?
There is with Brinker. Yeah.
Oh, with Brinker.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I do wonder if Mike McCarthy's probably thinking, that another job may open up, like the Bengals.
Well, we didn't say if it was a good relationship either.
Yeah, we don't know, to be
relationship.
honest with you. We don't know, so. All right. But, I mean, like, Mike McCarthy's another one, right? Like, it comes down to those guys.
He's a proven coach, and then he's dealt with the situation with Dallas where he probably didn't have a lot of say-so as far as drafting players in free agency.
Yeah.
So he's a good soldier in that manner, and he's a proven coach in this league, and he can get you back to middling. So that even though you may not have a tight relationship with this guy, you have someone on, the CEO there, Brinker, who says, hey, I know this guy. He can at least get us back to very competitive with the way you pick. You sell it to him. If you can't get Nagy, what if you can't get these guys that you really want to get?
That's where you make a decision that likely is going to end up in failure. and I just say that not because I doubt their decision-making process, but you didn't get your guys if you're Mike Bergonzi. You're having to learn a whole new language and get a whole new relationship on the fly, and you don't know how that's going to work, right? Like, Chad Brinker has intimate knowledge of how Mike McCarthy's mind works. What his process is like. With Mike Bergonzi, he knows Mike Kafka. He knows Matt Nagy. And I'm not saying that, Mike Kafka should be really in consideration. We'll see what the Giants' job is, but I think I'm out on Mike Kafka. But you just brought
you don't like Kafka?
No, I don't like Kafka.
Me either, kid.
He looks like Nosferatu. But
as long as he gets coached, I don't care how he looks.
But I'm just saying, again, that's why these pre-existing relationships are so prevalent in the NFL. And typically, unless it's just how it works in the NFL. And again, if you're Mike Bergonzi, you got to hope that you can bring your guy, or get your guy. That's what you usually say.
If the guy knows that you are his guy, can he hold you to the fire on what he wants? And I'm talking about that's more than just money.
Maybe they already have discussed what they want, what each other wants. See, that's where I go back to Mike Bergonzi and all of his GM interviews.
So you're talking about tampering?
Yeah, that's not really tampering. Because if Mike Bergonzi did it while he was in Kansas City, waiting to take the job, you get what I'm saying? Maybe they've already know how their relationship is going to work because they worked together before. Just saying.
Yeah, they were collabing.
All right. Matt Bowen and Jeremy Fowler of ESPN.com put out their list of top 25 free agents. And I'm looking through this list. They have a few edge players that may interest me, a lot of corners. And listen, some of these guys aren't going to hit free agency. Some of these guys are too expensive. But, I mean, there's some edge players, some cornerback players that really like. You got guys like Trey Hendrickson. Now, obviously, to me, I think he's way too expensive for the state of the roster that you're in. Great player, but there's no reason that this team should be looking to spend $34 million per year or more for Trey Hendrickson, who's going to be 31. That's what they're projecting him to make.
Oh.
He's currently making $29 million.
Oh.
So, yeah. So that would be the next step. That seems a little too expensive. 31 years old. Love Trey Hendrickson, but that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I like it, but not that.
George Pickens. Obviously, if they're not going to like Jarvis Brownlee Jr., don't think they're going to like George Pickens. Just throwing that out there. I think.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Brownlee do what Pickens does in
not
games?
At all.
See, but you did exactly what the media does, though. You put them in the same bucket.
Well, what I'm saying is, if they no, that's not what I'm doing. You're twisting my words.
I didn't say that. I just said
I'm saying they listen. Okay, so
What did he say?
Well, listen. I said if they don't like Jarvis Brownlee Jr.,
right? But
why would they like George Pickens?
Right. I said you
because he's way worse than Jarvis Brownlee Jr. And they couldn't even. They have a low tolerance for whatever they think Jarvis Brownlee Jr. does.
People used to say that about T.O. T.O. had never been arrested.
Yeah, but see, but what I'm saying is that I don't agree with the staff, but they have already put out there that this team can't even quote unquote handle Jarvis Brownlee Jr., which I don't think is necessarily true. But if they feel that way about Jarvis Brownlee Jr., then there's absolutely no way they would take George Pickens, because George Pickens is way worse.
I agree with that. I just don't understand that there's different levels of tolerance of players.
Right.
And to me, if they're in the same bucket, but they're at a totally different level of tolerance, and based off what we've seen. That's why I said seen.
Yeah.
We've seen Pickens act and put on, do all this craziness. Well, we haven't seen Brownlee do anything.
So they obviously have a very low tolerance, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm saying if they think that Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is an issue, then they're definitely
maybe their
going to launch George Pickens in the sun.
Maybe their issue is more about who they are.
I would agree with that.
And then what they're dealing with in the National Football League. And if you can't deal with that, this guy hasn't done anything, man, it's just hard for me to say that what you're saying is valid. Did you see his emoji eyeballs when he talked about what the deal, what they said about him?
I think that
he said culture fit. He was like, eyeball, what? Are you kidding me? So you just made up this lie.
Like I said, they want choir boys, and you're not going to be able to win a lot of games with all 53 being choir boys.
You always have to have some guys rough around the edges.
And that doesn't mean you have to have, murderers, wife beaters, thieves, all that kind of stuff. But like having a guy that maybe is not as polished as a Jeffrey Simmons when talking to the media or something like that, then it's fine.
But then this is how you manipulate the owner based off of your decisions or what you did. Here's why I'm going to say that is he also followed that up and said, we don't have the team and the leadership to handle a player like this.
That speaks a lot to what he thinks of the
we just said
team
Jeffrey
too.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Okay, watch this. Cody Barton. We're talking about guys in the league who are leaders.
Yeah.
We got Amani Hooker. You also have Snead, whether you're talking about he played or not. So what are you referencing if you don't have leadership in your locker room yet to handle a culture fit?
I can't answer these questions because I can't wrap my head around it.
So now you see how I feel on a daily basis.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't understand.
I agree with you.
What they are meaning when they say that. When we haven't seen anything, and we're not in the locker rooms, but we hadn't heard anything from Denard Wilson.
The players.
The players all backed it, and the coaching staff. So it's just kind of interesting. Nobody has said anything. Nobody even asked Denard Wilson what he thought of him as a player, and was he an issue in being late to the meetings?
Yeah.
And guess what? If I was Denard Wilson, based off what he's done already, he's already said that, man, hey, they already changed all our cornerbacks. We don't even have our starting cornerback. With two they traded and one is injured.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. We'll touch on the free agency later. So we're going to go to, coming up next, we hopefully will hear from Cam Ward, QB1 Tennessee Titans. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Well, naturally, holidays and holiday parties are right around the corner. Oh, man, do I love the holidays. And, man, do I love eating during the holidays. And sometimes I gain a little bit around the midsection. Well, guess what? You may put on a few pounds. And the approach to weight loss at Edge Peptide Therapy, hormone therapy, is a little bit different during that time. You make sure all your patients have extensive lab work and face-to-face conversations in office with our nurse practitioner to create a customized treatment plan tailored to your specific needs. Edge walks you through the process with guiding you with treatment, answering questions, supporting you all the way through the process, enjoying access to their in-body scanner to track weight loss and make sure you are maintaining that muscle mass. Yes, and you get to lower your A1C too as well, keeping your cravings, which I always love, especially those dessert during those holiday parties, in check, prioritizing the protein and have someone guide your journey from start to finish. And all you have to do is just give Edge Peptide a call today at 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878. or edgepeptide.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors, 615-737-1045. We await to hear from Titans quarterback Cam Ward, who's coming off bye and preparing for the Houston Texans, which, by the way, C.J. Stroud has yet to practice, and he's got a concussion. But I do want to throw something out there because I don't want to get in too thick of a topic before that we have to go suddenly to him. Right. As I heard 3HL yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And even Ron Slay has no hope in this Tennessee Titans team. And I get it. They have given you no reason to have hope yet this season. Okay. So I just want to say, if Davis Mills is playing at quarterback, I think right now you should go and bet Titans minus 7.5, because I think that number is going to drop when Davis Mills is or plus 7.5, because I think that number is going to drop and become less favorable for the bettors, I guess you could say, because obviously I think Davis Mills is worse than C.J. Stroud. I understand they were 26-0. They held him to 6-0 going into fourth quarter. And I think Cam Ward has gotten better since that first Texans game. I think the staff is a little bit better, but I think what we saw in the Chargers game, I'm like, okay, this Texans team is not that great. They've been better since last we faced them.
I think he's beaten the Titans before.
Yeah, he's beaten Vrabel before, if I'm not mistaken.
So. Yeah, we're Titans. Yeah. Uh-huh. So he's a solid backup, man.
He's a solid backup. I'm just saying. I feel now's the time to take the plus 7.5, because that number is probably going to go down to 5.5 or 4.5 once C.J. Stroud.
What do you think about their front four against our offensive line?
I think there's listen, I think they're going to be prepared for this. I just have this weird feeling that they've spent time preparing for this Texans game, and I think they're going to come out and get a win at home.
Bye week. So
coming off a bye week, I think they're going to come off they're going to go home here at Nissan Stadium and get a win against the Texans.
If they don't start fast, and get up on them, no, it'll be right back to where it was, because resting in the league and having that week off does matter, and you'll be re-energized, at least as far as your legs and energy. But if after that, I'm just scared of their front four.
Yeah.
It's also Houston, man. We better come out ready to play. You know?
Well, we've been saying, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, the organization feels that way, but I don't understand why you're not ready to play even after a halftime. They should be just excited, man, hey, man, I get to prove myself. I'm pissed off for losing. So, you should be motivated just because you're in the league.
I think they're going to be there's something about this team that I felt through coming to their bye that I have not felt throughout the rest of the year.
That's weird. They hadn't played, but now you feel that way.
Maybe it's because they have been so far removed, and maybe it's because I went, down to Florida over the weekend and, caught some fish, and I'm just feeling like I'm in a good mood. But I kind of feel that this team is going to win 3 or 4 games down this stretch, and I think one of those games is going to be against the
schedule.
Yeah, and I think one of those games is going to be this Texans game. And so I'm just saying, personally, I'm not telling you to go put money on the Titans money line. I'm going to. You can join me if you want. I'm going to put money on the Titans money line.
Where are you at right now?
But I'm definitely going to put money on the plus 7.5.
You 50-50 still?
No, I think it's.
I'm talking about you as personally as your record of betting.
I'm up, still up above 50%, barely. I did not. I had a 2 out of 5 week last week, and I'm at 51%. So I'm barely hanging on.
We haven't been tracking his NFL bets though. He won't give us those.
I don't give it NFL bets. But
you're not
I bet against the Titans pretty much almost every week, so I've been doing pretty good on that. But that's why I'm switching. I think now's the time to buy the Titans plus 7.5. I feel it. I'm just feeling it.
I'll believe it when I see it, but I'm hoping so. I am hoping so. But, man, I don't know. Sometimes after a bye week, you can be a little sloppy, with snaps, dropping balls, ball protection.
Oh, we did that without the bye week.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's what I said, man. Hey.
I'm just feeling pretty good about this game. And especially after hearing 3HL, who's normally at least one of them is positive about the game. None of them feel positive. So I'm gonna bet against them as well. So
so that's where it came from.
There you go.
You just want to bet against them.
Sometimes when you have so many people going one way, you need to take the other way.
Sometimes that's true.
And so I feel like that this game is going to be an example of that. +7.5 Tennessee Titans.
What do you think, Ross?
I think is you feeling good about the Titans? Is that the angel on your shoulder? Or is that the devil on your shoulder?
Could be both.
I don't know which one that is.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't even know if I have one or the other. I think it's just one person.
Who's that person?
I don't know. I have no clue.
It's Mr. Pumpkinhead.
Hey, I guess, wait a minute. Oh, we do have someone coming up at the podium if you want to go over there. Well, I don't know what just happened. They had some players show up.
Do we want to put it up? It's not Cam Ward.
Hey, so when did we get Ross put up here on the screen too, by the way? I like that.
I did that because you wanted me to.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But that wasn't I thought I meant in the, part of the screen.
Just for the record, President of Positivity came early. Usually I reserve President of Positivity for Friday.
I see how long it took you to think of that.
Yep. But I'm just saying +7.5. I was feeling it yesterday.
Are you going to be positive on countdown to kickoff now or no?
I mean, I was pretty positive. I was positive on the Chargers game. The Chargers game, I was positive they were going to get smoked, but they actually covered the spread.
Yeah, after they knocked out both of their tackles.
So I'm just saying, they covered. Listen, you don't have to even knock out any of the tackles for the Texans. They all suck. So
watch this. How many sacks have they given up compared to the Titans?
Let's look.
I don't know, man. I think they're better than, they ain't bad as you think. We just lost our leading sacker, and Jeffrey Simmons is not playing.
That's true.
So I don't know. How many sacks do
Stroud's been sacked 17 times. Mills has been sacked 4, so 21.
So we've given up 36.
But it's been a historical rate.
That's a big difference.
That's a historical rate, though.
Hey, I'm just going by the numbers.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that the Tennessee Titans aren't I'm just saying this offensive line is not that good either.
We're also coming off our best game
compared to the Chargers, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
we're coming off our best game in the pass rush department.
Yeah.
I know we let Draymond go, but might get Jeff back.
You get Arden Key back. Calvin Ridley's practicing. Arden Key's practicing. I don't know. I'm just saying. Could be.
Is Stingley still practicing for them?
I do not know. We haven't got that. I'm just saying +7.5 is the time to buy now.
It don't matter.
Because I bet it will get lower the closer we get to game time.
Man.
So buy now. You got to do it now. Place your bets now.
I love how we're trying to string this out until Cam comes up.
I know.
I
mean, come on, Cam.
I'm going to just say this because I got it off the chat. Matthew Terry 7422. I'm going to give you props. Hey, man, we need to drug test Zach immediately.
Yeah, why don't we do that at work? We don't have that before the shows?
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, I've been right about all the other Titans games outside the Arizona Cardinals games. So, why not ride with me now?
What do you mean? Everybody's been right.
You just bet the losses and you win. I'm just saying.
Oh, man, this press conference can't come soon enough.
It's a good way to hedge your weekend as a Titans fan. Happy no matter what. They either win or you make some money.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, they're covering +7.5. I can feel it in my bones.
Oh, my. Somebody's told them something they're going to do. We're going to run the ball more against the Texans. Well, they're going to change that as soon as the game starts. And then all of a sudden, they're stuffing the ring. Hey,
that's what Joseph said. Mike McCoy said they're going to run the ball more. And I'm like, yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, man. Good.
Because they say they want to lean into the run all the time.
When it's working.
All right, Cam Ward is actually there, coming up at the podium.
Is he? Yes.
So Ross is going to get that up, and we're going to hear from Cam Ward over at St. Thomas Sports Park.
You said you didn't need a break from it, but what was your bye week like?
Just take time, just getting back to the basics of football, getting my body healthy, but then just resetting my mind to go play a whole nother season.
How necessary or how refreshing was the reset?
Well, it was real good. Just to plan to self-scout myself, what I can do to, help the team be better on offense, the way I can do to help myself, just continue to establish drives. So, it was a good break needed.
Cam, when you did the self-scouting and the self-reflection, what would you say was the biggest thing that you felt was an area for improvement?
For myself, I thought the biggest thing I could improve on was just not missing easy plays. Just being overly focused, even on the little things that I critique myself on. But then just as a whole, offensively, just doing the things that we're good at more throughout the game, more in practice, and then just lead to good offensive play.
You're the kind of guy that would spend probably a lot more time out there if the rules let you. You ever feel like there's not enough time in a regular work week to work on some of the stuff you'd like to?
There's always enough time. You just got to know how to use, your days. It might not be a lot of time just with full speed reps because we're later in the season, guys' bodies. You got to be able to get them to Sunday. But you got to be able to be a mental quarterback, and I think that's what I'm getting better at each and every week. Just count walkthroughs as actual game reps. Just being just mentally focused on a lot of little things.
It seems like for how much the coaches talk about the individual periods and the footwork and stuff, that's only a small segment of what you do each day. Is it enough? Does it feel like enough?
Yeah, it feels like enough. I get a lot of it done on my own time. And that's just really, how the work week is. You got to take advantage of the minutes that you get. You got to maximize just outside the building.
What are you able to do in your time?
Just a lot of just short stepping, not overstriding, a lot of pocket movement. I think the biggest thing is just not, throwing from off-balance platforms if I don't need to. Just staying in the pocket.
Comes to mind, talk us through of missing an easy play. What does that look like from your end, and how do you find those? How do you correct those in film?
The game before the bye, just missing the easy throw to Van. That's really the easiest play that I could think of. And just on me. Protection was great. Van ran a good route, but I just got to come through for those guys. So just really self-scouting myself and just really staying within the pocket and not leaving if I don't have to.
Like, I guess, the mood, energy of the team is coming off the bye, 8 games to go?
It's high. We can turn the season around in 1 week. We try to take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. And, we got a good energy going just in and out the locker room. The new guys that we got in, we welcome them in with open arms. But them boys ready to work. The new additions we added, and I think they're going to help us, win some games.
What kind of conversation did you have with Quandre when he was released, and what did he tell you going forward?
Really good luck. He's going to be watching me really every Sunday if he's not at the games. But then just him, being able to play football with, a family member, not a lot of people get a chance to do. But I think he made this decision that was best for him. I'm always going to support him, and I know he's always going to support me.
How does it feel to have Ridley back out there and potentially have him back for Sunday?
It feels good. Just from a receiver standpoint, we get the best guy in our receiving room just with experience and just the way he can, take a defense, just over the top. That's something that, we've missed just in and out of weeks without Rid. We do a lot of stuff game plan-wise for Rid. So it's good to have, one of our best receivers back, and he's ready to make some plays.
Cam, with Gunnar Helm, you got 25 targets this way. He's caught 20 of them. What is it that makes that connection so effective?
He's just reliable. I think he doesn't get enough credit for just how good of body language he shows to the quarterback, especially on option routes, whether he's going to sit, break in, or break out. But then just the arm width he has, the expansion to go, and track deep balls, the over the shoulder. His range is, one of the best out there. And we just got to find ways to get him the ball, get him going. I got to continue to put the ball, his, perimeter. He going to come down with it.
And that's the thing. You look at the Chargers game, I think we only have one target. Is it just a matter of you having to go elsewhere, or what can you do to get him more opportunities?
I think we could do just different stuff offensively, whether it's emphasizing Gunnar or just getting in 12 personnel, getting 2 tight ends, give them a better chance to, get the ball. But we just got, I think what would help, not only us but him, is just moving the ball efficiently, not having to get back on track situations, whether it's second or third down. And then so we can play above the sticks and get everybody the ball.
How much are you guys looking forward to getting another shot at Houston, given what happened in the first game?
I'm really looking forward to it. They're a good team all around. And, they beat us, the first time. But we got to own up to the little things that we did wrong in that game, and we got to correct them. So we know we got our hands full with that group of guys. It's going to be a big-time game for us. We got to try to go out there and get a win.
You played a good bit better the second time against Indy compared to the first time. How valuable was it getting that second swing at a team, and how do you kind of translate that this time?
I think it's good because you see it one time already. Even though defense can do a completely different thing the next game, you just got a sense of just how their defense plays. They got 2 good edge rushers over there. So really myself stepping up in the pocket and then also getting the ball out to help the O-line.
I guess in college, your team is your team. What's it been like for you in the NFL where you've got teammates that here one day, gone the next? You mentioned new guys coming in, and what's the conversation like when somebody new comes in the locker room and see?
There's always high vibes. Every person that we brought through that building, through the doors, they come in with great energy. Everybody on the team goes up to them, introduces themselves. But I think the best thing is that you get to just experience new people. You get to learn about new people, where they're from. But then you also count on that person to help yourself, help them, and help the team win games. So it's going to be a fun journey, with those new guys, and I'm ready, to support them any way they need.
What's been the biggest thing you've learned about yourself and your game as you go through the struggles of a rookie season on a team that's not winning?
I think you just got to remain just the process, from habits to routine to doing more than what you think you don't need to do, because there's always a little thing that you have to do. And there's always going to be ups and downs, and no matter if you're on the worst team or the best team in the league, you're never going to have a perfect game. And I just think for all of us, especially the young guys, we just continue to play the next play, remain confident, and, just got to put our trust in the system. And we just got to, at the end of the day, try to get better each and every game.
What do you see are the biggest challenges on crucial downs, such as third down? That's been an area that you guys have struggled at this season.
I think just not being a third and long has been the biggest thing for us. That's something that we lacked the first, games of the season, and just something that we got to do better, the last 80 games of the season. So I just think the more we can stay ahead of the sticks, it ain't going to, hurt us. It's just going to be able to propel us.
Thanks,
All right, that was Cam Ward up at the podium at St. Thomas Sports Park. We'll have our reactions coming up next. This is Cover 2 with Blaine and Zach here on 104.5 The Zone.
Want to know about a place where European Auto Repair doesn't feel like European Auto Repair? Hey, it's Blaine Bishop to tell you about the moment you walk into Eurofix, you'll notice Eurofix is not your typical greasy garage. The waiting rooms, they're clean, comfortable, and really inviting. Just sit down and relax. Service areas are spotless. Why? Because Eurofix cares about everything from how you are treated to how your vehicle is treated. And every repair comes with a rock-solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs Eurofix performs, and at below dealer pricing. You don't have to put up with the dealer pricing or get ghosted when you're waiting on a call back. And oh man, do I get so pissed off about that, right? And I'm sure you do too. And Eurofix fixes everything European. Plus, a rental car is available with every appointment. Locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet. All you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or online at myeurofix.com. That's myeurofix.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Cam Ward just spoke at the podium, and I'm feeling even better about my bet of them covering the spread at 7.5, just based on that conversation. They're feeling good. The energy's high. Calvin Ridley is back. It's here. It is time. Arden Key's in the locker room. He said, "These are my favorite 2 months of the year, November and December. Let's ride 7.5. Walk with me, everybody."
I'm not walking with you because we all know those hamstrings are just a figment of your imagination. And Calvin really come back, probably not going to be fully healthy out there running. It's hard to trust when you're a speed guy like him to trust your hamstring. So I would think he will be not up to par what we expect. See, so that gives me no.
I just need 50 yards out of him. That could be everything for the Tennessee Titans.
50.
Yeah.
You start hurting that hamstring, though, it never really comes back to to full.
You know this as an athlete, right? It's not good. He's not going to be the same guy. I want to see him catch a D ball. I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
He may catch it, then he'll come out and run out of bounds.
Hey, as long as it's for a touchdown. As long as it's for a touchdown, that's all.
That's a real thing because he's got such a great burst off the line.
Yeah,
Can he really open up like that?
That's his whole
I don't know.
deal, man. That's his. Everything's built around his speed, man. And I just don't ever trust when these guys have a hammy. And and then he's been out for a while, so that meant it was pretty serious. So what, he's missed 2 games in a bye week?
3 games in a bye week.
Ooh.
Can you really miss a bye week, though?
Well, I mean, he probably was out there, running around.
I guess that's true. Just want to say this, because we're talking about, I was also talking about Arden Key, and he said this is his favorite 2 months, and I wondered why. That's because he has totaled 15.5 sacks in November and December versus just 11 sacks in September and October. So he usually sees a bump in November, December. So there you go. Just saying.
That's
just
good.
feeling good about 7.5.
But see, here's where Jeffrey Simmons is supposed to come into play, even though he's not playing.
Yeah.
Why is it that way? Why isn't it that way at the beginning of the season? See, you need to challenge your guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so to me, then that means something is different. You need to change your training or how you start off the season, and whatever you're doing is not working.
That's true. That's true.
Guess what? Here's how you say it.
But as long as he gets me 7.5 points, that's all I'm saying.
Dude, do you know if you do what you do in the second half of the season every year, if you do it in the first half, how much you would double your salary from 7 or 8 or 9, whatever you make it, to close to 20?
That's true.
Well,
imagine that. Can you do with some extra moolah?
Hey, I know Jeff wants to play this week. You see what he did that Houston O-line last time? That sack of like 0.4 seconds.
That was awesome.
Maybe Sebastian Joseph Day. The last time we saw him, he was wrecking shop. I'm just saying.
Is James Lynch healthy? I like James Lynch.
He is healthy.
John Lynch is.
Put it down for James Lynch for a sack. Put it down.
I like it. Let's go to Steve in Nashville. Steve,
get out of there.
You're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, man, what's going on? Zach,
Yeah.
how are you, brother? Are
Good.
you delusional? I got somebody in the car that wants to talk to you. Hang on, Mach, get him. Something like me and Randy said, Zach, you're crazy. Going down by 20, dude. Are you serious?
Oh, my.
Zach, come on now. There's no way we're going to get 7.5. No way. I would like to come down there and visit you guys in the studio, see what you're drinking right now, because we're not winning another game this year, dude. We do not have Tennessee Tech or Sewanee. There you go, Sewanee. Maybe middle on the schedule. We're not winning, dude.
Okay, now, Steve, if they either win a game or at least if they cover this week, you have to call back and you have to apologize in the Randy Savage voice. Because you can't be like Gorilla, who's never called back since calling Van Jefferson a scrub and a chump, and he's never called back into the radio since then.
Oh, man, I'll call you. I'll come down the studio and say hi to you. I'll come meet you.
You got
I'll eat crow, but there's no way we're winning, man.
All right, we'll see. I'm just saying, 7.5. Appreciate it, Steve. 7.5 is feeling pretty good right now.
All right, we're good. I'm glad you feel that way. So what did you get out of the Cam Ward interview? What did you hear?
I think that his self-scouting, not missing the easy plays, doing working on the small things, not going up too high, too low, putting in the work, the stuff that we've kind of heard a little bit, but it felt like his real focus. I know everybody's like footwork. He's more like, well, I got easy plays, right? Like I can't miss those easy plays. I'm not missing those easy plays because of bad footwork. I'm missing those easy plays because maybe I'm overly focused on trying to get the big play. And I think him working on that, him resetting his mind, like he said, he's getting his body healthy, resetting his mind. I thought that stuff was a little bit more important than did you work on your footwork and all that kind of stuff. I think the plays are there. Footwork's not the reason why he's missing the plays. Now, obviously, there are some throws that he's missing, but as far as the easy plays, most of those is just that he's not looking for it.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think you said all those things were definitely correct. I focused on that too. It says he said also stand in the pocket.
Yep.
And then when he added like his footwork and everything else, but he was saying I need to stay in the pocket because there's times he was, thinking that he was feeling pressure, but he wasn't feeling pressure, and he would maneuver outside the pocket. Then he didn't have the angles to make probably some of the throws what he wanted to.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Van Jefferson play that he did reference in the last game, where he didn't really have to get out of the pocket, and then when he got out of the pocket, he didn't reset his feet. That's kind of an easy play. But also from the pocket, that would have been a little bit more difficult play, and he probably could have made it if he would have stayed in the pocket.
So I think he's very critical of himself, but he's also honest with himself and knows, that's the only way you're going to be great.
Yeah.
You got to be critical of yourself. Anybody's successful at anything that they do. And you can't have, you can't be, sensitive to, the feelings of, oh man, I thought this or that. Just take the correction, look at it, be critical and see what you can do. And you know what's inside of you and what you can actually do. So take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving. So I think he has the right mindset. He's always had the right mindset, really pretty much besides him wanting to be a gunslinger and thinking he can do it by himself. You can do that in college. Here in the pros, you must learn to get it to your playmakers and let them do the work. Now, there's going to be times you get to be the gunslinger. Guess what? He got to be the gunslinger in the 2 minute when he came down there. It showed his ice his veins, though. So he's clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so he's got it there. He just got to manifest it to the NFL way for a quarterback to be successful consistently week in and week out.
I did think that Gunnar Helm was a big topic today at both press conferences. And he talked about the body language he shows to the quarterback, and especially on his option routes. I thought was interesting. Talked about his catch radius. But the question then became, he only had one target last week. What can you do to get him more targets? And he kind of moved it to the entire offense being, well, we got to move the ball efficiency. And what he's really trying to say is, if we're more efficient, we have more plays. And if we have more plays, our players have more opportunities at targets. And right now, when they get so far behind, yes, Gunnar Helm has been good, but not every play can go to Gunnar Helm. You have to spread the ball out and attack the defense another way. When you have more plays to call and more plays to run, there's more opportunities to give the ball to not just Gunnar Helm, but everyone at a higher rate. And I thought that was a good answer, too.
No, that was a great answer because what it does is most people are going to answer that question where, you just talk about why you targeted him or didn't target him.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that, which you can't do that because every play isn't designed for one player. Right. They're designing plays you want a number one read. Even when a play is designed for you, you may not get the ball there based off the coverage that is given or pressure and you can't see, the throw. So everything doesn't go according to plan. That's what I love about team sports, and you got to get out there and sometimes improv a little bit, especially when you're the quarterback and have a good feel of where you can just put it where they can get it, even though the play was covered. So I thought he did it. He's always pretty much said the right things to me. It seems like he's been in this situation many a times being a quarterback. So I think he understands the limits of things that can be tweaked and turned into something else. And so he doesn't ever go that way.
And it's not just coach speak, quarterback speak. It's actually in detail stuff that you don't really get a lot from quarterbacks when they talk. Even Ryan Tannehill, right? You would never get stuff like this, feels like. Just real quick, let's close up the show with Captain Tony. Captain Tony, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, Captain.
Just talking to y'all. I'm sorry I missed y'all last week, but I'm back with y'all now. I had two things. So Zach said that we were going to cover this week, and it immediately I thought of a movie from back in the day. Do y'all remember the movie Dumb and Dumber?
Oh, come on now.
And where?
So you're
where
saying
he's
there's
in
a
the room-
chance?
He's in the room with Mary, yeah, and he's like, "What do you?" It's so funny because he goes, "What do you think the chances of a girl like me and a guy like you together are?"
Oh man,
It's one in a million, one in a million. But I do gotta say this: I know there's already one guy on. I don't know who it is that does Macho Man Randy Savage for 104.5 The Zone, but there's a caller that usually calls in and does. He does them. But I just got to say, from the last guy, if you're going to call in and do the Macho Man, you got to own it, right? You got to, yeah.
Baby.
Crap. You got to go for a goal. Get the first down. And then you string them with a touchdown. Dig it.
Oh, my, that sounds painful.
I think we lost Captain Tony. Maybe he fainted.
He fainted.
Do we need to call him? Do we need to? Oh,
I think we literally did lose him.
yeah. Did we lose him? Do we need to call 911? Do a welfare check on Captain Tony?
That didn't sound too good.
It did not. He may pulled his back out and dropped his phone somewhere.
Hey, last thing real quick.
Yeah.
Because y'all might have mentioned this, but when he was talking about Houston's edge rushers, and he said, I got to get the ball out quicker to help our O-line.
Step up in the pocket.
And step up and get the ball out quick, please. Haven't we talked on this show all season about the run after catch ability of some of these guys? Get them the football in open space.
There you go. Take the easy throws. Path to victory, path to covering.
That's what he also said too. Take it to gimmies.
Yeah,
so you got to take them.
Got to take them. And that's something else we've always talked about with this, with Cam Ward and even Will Levis and them, is that you got to take the easy passes when they come to you.
That's what Zach's trying to do this week, Blaine, with this bet. Take the gimme.
Telling you, 7.5, it's coming. You better get it now. All right, that will do it for us. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. 3HL's up next live from Fozzie's in Spring Hill. But in the meantime,
in between time,
peace.